Oscar de la Hoya joins the show now. There's an HBO original two-part documentary. It's called The Golden Boy. It debuts this Monday, July 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Oscar, it's Maggie and Perloff. Thanks so much for the time today. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we got to start in a place you're not expecting, okay? Perloff and I all week have been debating LeBron versus Jordan. And we have a side bet on where you come down on this. So someone says to you, LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, who's your guy? Who do you go with?
Yeah, Michael Jordan by far.
Thank you.
Yeah, Michael Jordan by far. Not only because he would go to my fights, but I mean, come on, he's the GOAT. He's the all-time. He has, what, 6 rings? You cannot argue with that.
I thought you might go off the board with a Magic Johnson or a Laker thing, but that it's for you. It's Jordan by far.
I love Magic. Yeah, I love Magic. I love Larry Bird. I love all those greats, but Michael Jordan, he's my man.
Oscar, when you're fighting in a big time prize fight, and you've got famous people like Michael Jordan, or actresses and actors and famous people sitting ringside, are you conscious of those people? Are you performing at all for those people?
Well, you're not performing for them, but you're conscious of like who's out there. You want to take a peek, what celebrities are out there, or this and that, and it can distract you, to say the least. It's always fun watching celebrities, sitting ringside watching your fight, but it can be distracting a bit.
Who's the most distracting celebrity that has ever attended one of your fights?
I think it was a president. I'm not sure what the president was, but that was pretty. All the Secret Service and this and that. It was distracting.
Amazing. The two-part documentary, The Golden Boy, debuts this Monday. And Oscar, you've really opened yourself up in this documentary. You're going back all through your life and your career. Now, it's one thing to do it for a film. It's another thing to relive all this as you're doing press for this film and getting interviewed by people like us. What has it been like to relive all these past troubles, highs and lows now through the media?
Sure. It's emotional. It's a roller coaster. It takes me back to those days, and it was hard. It's dark. It's a lot of up and downs. But it's at the same time it's liberating. It's almost therapeutic in a way. And just to talk the truth and to just spill it out there it's just so liberating.
Oscar, there's an expression, you're only as sick as your secrets. And what's the one secret in your documentary that really had been eating you up through the years that you were, I don't know, maybe relieved to get off your chest in here?
I don't think there's like secrets. I just feel that, my whole life was literally a secret, being labeled the golden since I was 6 years old, having all that pressure from the family, winning the gold medal at 18 years old, and now having the pressure from the world as the golden boy, coming from a physical and mental, abusive family household was very difficult. I mean, I don't think anybody knew exactly what was going on. I mean, my mother used to physically abuse me, and it's difficult to talk about, because obviously family will be watching this documentary, but at the same time, this was for me. This was for me to liberate myself and just be okay with me. Telling the truth, like you said, is shall set you free.
Oscar de la Hoya is joining us. Got a new documentary, HBO original two-part documentary, The Golden Boy, debuts this Monday. You mentioned, that your mother was physically abusive. You mentioned your father was emotionally abusive to you. But going back to your mother, I've heard you say this in interviews that when you got into the ring and you started fighting, you're thinking of your mother. That's where, you can build up the rage. Do you think most boxers are thinking about one person? Is that generally, have you found from fighters that it's one person in mind? It's your opponent, of course, but where the rage comes from and the will to get punched and deliver that punishment is really thinking about one person.
I don't know if it's about one person, but there's definitely a lot of rage and pain inside. To take it to the highest level, you know, to be special in a sport, there has to be something wrong with you, you know, in a way. Um, I just feel that, you know, my drive was literally my pain. And you know, this documentary just it talks about all the highs and the lows and the moments that were really dark and the moments that really made me who I was as a person, as a fighter, you know, and the person that I am now. So, you know, this documentary, what I love about it, it doesn't end as a champion. It doesn't end with my hands raised in victory. It ends where you want more. You want to see what Oscar's doing now. You know, my past is the past, and I tell that story candidly, not holding anything back. But this documentary was just well put together by Mark Wahlberg and the director Fernando Baena, who was amazing in telling the story. But I truly feel that that this story is gonna show you a side of me that nobody ever has seen before, and that's what's scary to me at the same time. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to it because finally I could put my past in the past.
Oscar, did you have input on who was going to speak on the documentary? Were there people you were nervous about? Hey, I'm not sure if I want this person to be on camera talking about my life.
Yeah, no, I obviously I wanted those people I've had relationships with, like my kids, like, you know, to talk about exactly how they really feel about me. And my father, you know, you see my father in this documentary, and he's a tough man. He's a man that is not, you know, he's not content with anything that I did. He always thought that I can do better. He always thought that if Chavez was younger when I fought him in 1996, that he would have beat me. You know, he's a tough man. So I wanted this documentary not to be sugarcoated. I didn't want to see another documentary of an athlete or entertainer. Just everything is great and it's all peaches and cream. No, I wanted this documentary to be as raw, real, and authentic as possible.
Oscar De La Hoya is joining us. Oscar, can I just be totally candid with you? I've interviewed you before, and, you know, before you would come by, we would always have this question with our producers, like, do we ask about the photos? And the photos, the infamous ones of you and the fishnets. And it was always like, boy, those photos were so long ago, but, you know, they're always still kind of out there. And you address it head on in the documentary. Do you, when you look at those photos now, like, what feelings come to mind?
I mean, they're funny now. I mean, Jesus Lord. I mean, they're funny photos.
How long did it take you before you could laugh at it?
I think I started laughing at them once I finished this documentary, which was like a month ago.
Took a while.
Yeah, it's been haunting me inside, but the reason why is because I just wasn't prepared to own up to it, you know, and all the therapy and all the rehabs and this and that I've been doing. I think it's all prepared me for this moment, you know, to finally be true to myself, to be real to myself, and just be honest.
Oscar, what's your relationship right now with alcohol, with alcohol and drugs? I mean, where are you with that? Something that you've battled in your life?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, the documentary will tell you as well. Like, you know, people always pushed me to go to rehabs, to label me as an alcoholic and doing drugs, and I'm okay. I'm balanced. I mean, I didn't build this empire because I'm a loser or I'm not responsible, or, you know, I was always told that I had a problem, and I don't. You know, life is all about balance. Life is all about just, you know, being true to yourself, and life is amazing right now.
Oscar, we were researching before the interview that you had talked about coming back at age 47 in 2020. Right. Yeah, what happened? We weren't quite sure where that all led. I mean, you look like you're in great shape right now. I got to tell you, I'm not stepping in the ring with you, but did you ever come really close to resurrecting your career?
Oh, yeah. It's because I missed it, because because again, I wanted to please the world. You know, I missed being the golden boy. You know, it's that label that people put on me since I was 6 years old. The pressure. You know, when I step inside the ring, I feel like I can escape. I feel like if I'm that person that can just, you know, escape the world. And so I remember I decided to fight recently, and luckily I got COVID. Actually, it's kind of sounds weird, but COVID actually derailed that comeback, and I was very lucky it did, because, you know, the guy that I was in a fight was a big guy, and he would have done some damage to me.
Oscar, last one before we let you go, and we only have about 30 or 40 seconds left here, and it's going away from you, but we got to ask you about, you know, the YouTube stars turning boxers now, right? Jake Paul, Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather in an exposition. Do either of these guys have real talent, in your opinion? Do they actually have a chance to be good fighters?
Well, look, the one thing that I respect about Jake Paul is that he's really taking the sport serious. You know, he loves training, he loves boxing. He's taking those steps to better his career, to better his technique. You know, this is a good fight with Nate Diaz that's coming up August 5th. He did fight a real fighter. I think it was Fury, and he lost, but you know, he goes back to the gym and wants to become better, and he wants to work on his craft. And so I respect all that from Jake Paul. But if you have a YouTuber who's just doing it because it's funny, or because it's like it's gonna create attention, it's like, that's what I don't respect. But Jake Paul, I do.
Oscar De La Hoya, the two-part documentary, The Golden Boy, debuts this Monday, July 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's an HBO original. Oscar, the Hall of Famer, thank you so much for the time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.